จรด้วย
Let us stand up and pray. Our Father, we thank you for today. Thank you very much. And we desire your presence. Please, we said where two or three are gathered in your name, there you will be among us. In the name of Jesus. What we are starting today is a new idea. You created all of us. So, Father, let this new idea carry the emblem of God in Jesus' name. Let there be no problem. Let there be no failure. Let there be no stranded. Father, only success and joy will be the hallmark in Jesus' name. Father, you like the unity of your children. Something about this program is cooperation across the Niger. Father, let that bring a special success in Jesus' name. All the students that are registered for this program, they have expectations. Father, let their expectations be achieved beyond what a human being can do in Jesus' name. Thank you. The organizers, particularly those who have been favoring on it, let it be a time of reaping and passion in Jesus' name. Let it give rise to many more beautiful things in Jesus' name. Amen. Father, thank you very much. For in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, before we go on, may I just, before we go on, because we need to let the Yerewa people to come on board, may I introduce the president of the CMSN, engineer Bangor Akinwumi. The other member So do we go ahead to, let me say a little bit about the program. It's a way in which our contribution towards the enhancement and the professionalism of the marine surveying sector. This is done in conjunction with NDU and being, organized by the wider perspective who are acting as the coordinators. So, like I said, it's a way in which we try to make the profession go on. The older ones are getting old and moving out. So we felt it would be necessary to bring in the young ones that will take over the helm of affairs with time. So on this note, I think we should move over to Yerewa to make a recommendation of the other members at Yerewa. I would also want to introduce Captain Olomini. Yeah. We also have Captain Mola. They have a role. They will do the time. course, you have listened to Mr. Akin today who gave the prayers. Our representative in Yerewa, Engineer Tony Cookie, is at the Yerewa end. You'll see him later on by the time we hand over to the Yerewa to carry on with it. So I welcome all the students coming in for the program who believe they should be able to make things work. You have to be very much precise on whatever you do. So at the end of the day, you are able to come up with plan colors. And right now, I'll call on Mrs. Ekugon Hansen to introduce members of the wider perspective presently at the end of work. Mrs. Hansen, please. Mrs. Hansen. While we wait for Mrs. Hansen, can I call on Engineer Aki? No. I mean, sorry, Captain Boyga Alolopoli to introduce the Lagos Accords entity.
Good morning. Yeah, no, just go. Thank you very much, MC. I'm very delighted to be here today, and as Mr. Akin said, there's no. Today we go down in history as one of the. Today we go down in history as one of the faithful days that the maritime industry is taking another lead. Because this is the first set of people that I go to trade, and we hope that today's occasion, even though it's very low key, we usher in tremendous development in the maritime industry in regards to marine surveying. Having said that, let me introduce the council members of I'm very happy, but our president is Prince Bambo Emilie, FNSC. And of the great agencies from the surveying companies in Nigeria. The vice president, who is he cannot control himself because he's Canada, Engineer Akin Olaniyan, Managing Director of International Survey Bureaus. Our advisor, Mr. Akin today, just there. Mr. I used to today, Mr. one of the our council members as well. Engineer Anthony Kuki, President of the Yenabua, is one of our council members. He's representing the center in Yenabua today. Captain Tajuddin Alao is not here to give his visit to us on Zoom. Former staff of the MASA, very senior MASA Mariner Nigeria, is the current president of Nigeria Association of MASA Mariners. It's one of our members. Captain Fola Musalayo is our course coordinator. So it's the brain behind all these academic things that we're doing. He's here with us. Mr. President, we are to introduce the other faculty members.
Yes.
Most of these are all the class members are going to be part of those who give lectures for you. But apart from those the class members that I just mentioned, we've had to broaden the scope of faculty, and we've brought in other people from outside as well. What we have as faculty members are three categories of lecturers. One, those who work with the government, government surveyors. They are part of the faculty. Those who are working with superior societies, they are part of the faculty. And those who are independent surveyors, they are part of the faculty. So there are three categories of faculty members, which gives you a broader perspective of how this job is done. The president is one of the faculty. It's like a faculty.
Wow.
Mr. Umile will be part of the faculty. Captain Jalai will be part of the faculty. We have Captain Siri, who is a lecturer at the College of Fisheries. Dr. Douglas is a lecturer at the University College of Science and Technology. University of Science and Technology. He's going to be a lecturer in this program. And I will be part of the faculty as well too. As we go along with the training, in there's this, we are going to bring in more faculty members to enhance the program. So because we want to make it as nationally acceptable as possible. So I can assure you with the level of faculty members that we have, we are going to have the best of let me hand over.
And thank you very much.
Hello.
Captain Olonwoye. Thank you very much for what you've done. You've made a good introduction of the
Hello.
SN. I'm not sure if Mrs. Hanson is ready for us now. I'm not sure if she's around. So
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Presentation.
Yes, I'm ready. Yes, the network kicks me out. Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm speaking. The network kicks me out, so I'm back. Okay. All right, so good morning, everybody. There's a hall back. Good morning, everybody. We're excited to be experiencing the orientation of the Marine Surveyors training. And the team from Wider Perspectives, Mrs. Hansen, I'm the Managing Director of Wider Perspectives Limited, and we're the strategic partners with the Center for Marine Surveyors Nigeria, where we have very vast experience in industry training, and we're in partnership with the center for this laudable project. With me, my team here is Mr. Izontimi Otuaga. He's right there with you in Bayelsa. and he's the admin support for the project in Bayelsa. Lillian Alex, who is the center, the course coordinator for the Bayelsa Center, is also on this call. Benwari Tarinho, the head of our human capital unit. Is also attending. So the Wider Perspectives team is excited and we provide all the necessary support to ensure the program is a huge success. So thank you very much. We're here to provide whatever support that is needed to make this program a successful one. Mr. Timmy, can you just wave? He's in the Bayelsa Center. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mrs. Hanson, thank you very much for your contribution. We really appreciate the efforts Wider Perspective have put into the coming light of what we're doing today. One of these days, we shall be in the Yenagoa too. I will probably meet. I'm not sure if engineer Anthony Cookie is there. Not yet. Okay, while we wait for him, can we go ahead and to the welcome address by the president of CMSN. I must say that the president did so much, he's done so much to bring this event to fruitful. He's done, I mean, for him to go from Lagos to Yenagoa to have various meetings with the Niger Delta University in conjunction with Wider Perspectives. Without him, I must say, this event won't have taken place. Can we please give you one So I present to you,
Thank you. Thank you very much. I would like to welcome all of you. First and foremost, I would like to welcome the representative of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board. I wonder if he's here now, Mr. Imo Bikyoga. I'm sure if he's here, we'll get to meet him later at the Yenagoa Center. Next, I would like to say a big welcome to the Wider Perspectives team, who have been our strategic partners since the inception of the planning of this program. We've made several trips to Yenagoa together. They have also visited in Lagos, where we were presenting our proposals to Content Board, and everything seems to have fallen in place. Next, I would like to welcome the distinguished council members of the Center for Marine Surveillance Nigeria. Without your support, without your coordination, wisdom, and networking, this wouldn't have happened. Thank you very much for all what you have done and contributions, even financial contributions that you have made to make a success of this to this point. Next, I would like to thank the students and welcome them, because without you, there would have been no need for us to be here. But your presence here actually confers a lot of responsibility on you. And so my welcome address is going to be geared towards addressing you, so that you know the responsibilities that we expect of you, and the fact that from today, you have become ambassadors of a noble profession, the marine surveying profession.
which is the police of the marine industry. Because without marine surveying, there cannot be integrity in any marine operation. It is the marine surveyor that provides integrity to every action. Integrity in inspection, integrity in calculation, integrity in reporting. So you must know that from today, if your integrity level was at 50%, it has to go up to 150%. You must be incorruptible, you must be upright, and you must have absolute understanding of your subject of marine survey so that you do not go wrong at any time. The program itself, like you know, is divided into two parts: the engineering option and the cargo option. The engineering option is very vast, very, very vast. As the program goes on, Captain Bola is still going to talk. He will talk to some of the lectures. You will learn some of the things that you need to do to become a marine surveyor with engineering option. You will see some forms that have been given to you. They have, they want you to pick between engineering and cargo. So after he has talked, you will see it will be easier for you to fill in and pick the option that you want. Again, we have upgrade and level. The upgrade class are those that have spent at least 5 years in marine surveying. So they already have a knowledge of what marine surveying is. So they are just coming to do refresher course, can call it. You want to collect a certificate to back up the knowledge they have and then learn more from the masters. And the level class is for people, not necessarily fresh graduates, or graduates who have been working. Some people have masters. I know there are people who have master's degrees in this class, but they have never been marine surveyors. So they will spend 1 year to learn the rudiments of marine surveying and then also participate in excursions, in exercises that will lead to the certification of postgraduate diploma in marine surveying. That postgraduate diploma is going to be awarded by Niger Delta University, who are our strong partner in this whole process. They are our host in Yenagoa. If you see the Yenagoa screen, where they are sitting is in Niger Delta University. And that is where the lectures in Yenagoa are going to take place in the Faculty of Law at Niger Delta University. They have been of tremendous support to this program, the Vice Chancellor, the 2 deans, academic and admin, and the program directors, all of them, they have been very supportive of us. So they are the ones that will award the program. And at the latter date that they will give us, you will be going for matriculation, because you cannot collect their certificates without them matriculating you. You have to go for matriculation so that you can then become registered members of Niger Delta University. That is what will lead to the certification. The lecturers both in Lagos and in Yenagoa, Captain Kuki, I'm sure we'll get there, and he will introduce some of the Yenagoa faculty members. Your lecturers are very, very experienced and distinguished gentlemen. There's hardly any of them that is below 6. That means they are experienced, they are battle tested, but not weather beaten. You can see them, all of them distinguished, they have had careers that anybody can be proud of. So I want to beg you, come to class, come and learn from these gentlemen who have virtually volunteered, because what they are going to be paid is peanuts to what they earn normally. But every lecturer that is teaching in this course is more or less a missionary who is working to ensure that the gospel of marine surveying is spread. So I want you to please give them your utmost respect and support, because that is the only way you can learn from them. Can we all put our phones in silence or switch off totally so that we will not disrupt the program? So please, I would like you to support the lecturers in order for them to deliver super lectures to you. Then there are two categories of students. Those with scholarships, especially the content-born scholars, and then those that are sponsored. Those that are content-born scholars, sponsored trainees, do not have to pay anything. But those that are sponsored will have to pay a token. When we costed this program, the level was costed at 750,000, and the upgrade was costed at 550,000 for the 6 months. When it was costed, because the cost of the lectures you are going to have are fresh. Nobody teaches marine surveying anywhere. There's no university for marine surveying. This program is unique. So we have to pay some people to develop modules that were converted to PowerPoint, and then all the inputs that you are going to have, the lectures, the facilities, everything put together. It's very expensive. However, because we want more and more people to come in, we have fixed the payment for the level at 120,000 for the year, and for the upgrade at 100,000 for the 6 months. However, you can pay installmentally, because we realize that you are not money bags. Most of you are working or not working at all. So we don't expect you to just put down the money. If you have it, some of us are sponsored virtually all the sponsored students, all the paid students have sponsored, maybe about 60–70% of them. But those that don't have and cannot pay fully at once can pay installmentally to make it easier for you to pay. At the end of this training, Content Board has also made provision for 6 of the students to get international certification. That is useful for you because with your international certification, you can get jobs anywhere in the world. However, those that will be paid by Content Board. Everybody in this class that passes the exam and also apply for international certification, and we in the center will support you to make sure you get it if you are interested. The only difference is that Content Board is paid for only 6. With the others, if you want, will support you to write the exams and get your international certification. Well, I think I've covered most of what needs to be done. There's a question and answer session, so we'll be able to ask questions and make comments for a short period after the presentation that we'll have later. Thank you very much for listening.
And thank you very much, Ms. Bambo Ademilui, the president of CMSN. You've heard all he said, and I think it will be in the best interest of the students here to try and adhere to most of what he said, because that will bring out the best in you. We can go on.
Yes.
Captain Cookie is not there yet. I'm not sure if the representative of the NCDMB is there.
Is the mic muted?
Engineer Cookie is here.
I'm not sure if the representative of
Engineer Cookie is here in Yenagua.
Can you please,
Are you wave?
yes, he has, I can see him.
Okay.
Can you please introduce yourself and give us some more recognition of your representation? Okay, Engineer Folk is there, I can see you.
Please, your lines are not as clear.
No,
Can
the
you-
representative,
No, let Cookie talk. Let Cookie talk.
Okay.
To me, is the representative of
Go
the
on then.
wider perspectives. Okay. If you are giving us a
Switch off your.
technical lapses will be observed, but if you can by profession. Welcome to the Yenagoa Center. I am a council member of Center for Marine Surveyors. Today, in engineering, we avoid big grammar. We don't say maiden, we say starters. These are the crop of starters into this noble profession that is beginning and called marine surveying. So you are welcome one more time. I am here with Timmy, who is the rep of Wider Perspective. I have, please can you for him, an applause for him. I also have Dr. Daniel. Dr. Daniel is a senior lecturer in Rivers State University of Science and Technology. He is a marine. Also, I have Mr. Ernest Owakwe. Ernest Owakwe is a staff of NESRIA. NESRIA is National Environmental Standards and Regulation Enforcement Agency, the agency that repealed the Federal Environmental Protection Agency. Please welcome Mr. Owakwe. So today we are here to welcome the new students into this very noble profession. One more time, the students, you are welcome. As the president has correctly said, this profession is very noble. There is nowhere else except in Lloyd's Maritime Academy where marine surveying is offered as a course or as a professional calling. No other university except NDU. In the whole Africa, NDU is the only university that will be accrediting marine surveying in Nigeria and in Africa. And therefore, we want to thank the Center for Marine Surveyors, the council members, for listening to the yearning needs of the youth of this country in creating this profession. Can we please clap for NC? Here in Yenagoa, we have a crop of new students. I don't think today is a day of introduction, but when that calls, we will introduce them one by one, because I have, unless you're going to permit me, because before we talk to them professionally, we may have to assure them that they have been admitted, as I have their admission forms here and offer letters here. So, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for being here. And I will say, this is the beginning of the best that is to come to this very noble profession. In getting it a bit further, define it, you are the quality assurance undertaker of the maritime process, because we handle, in marine engineering, you have hull, you have machineries, you have instrumentations, and in cargo you have wet, you have dry, you have marine environment survey, offshore facility survey, and all other surveys that you cannot just come in and undertake the safety of the marine process with these facilities. It requires safety, and now it requires security, and it requires conscious effort. It requires uprightness. You cannot be bought. If you do, you will crash people's investments and their lives. It is so sure. So, gentlemen, I've not seen a lady yet. I hope. Okay, lady student, please, lady student, come so that everybody knows that it is for both aisles of professional existence. Please come. These are our lady marine surveyors. So you can see that this is on both sides of the aisle. God bless you all there. And this is all we want to take from this center. Thank you so much. And in conclusion, these are not the only lecturers you'll be having. There are other seasoned professionals like myself. I've been a qualified marine engineer since 1985. I've sailed in ships, tankers, bulk carriers, VLCCs, FPSOs, all of them, we've had a touch of it. So that's Dr. Daniel. He has come up with a PhD in marine engineering. This is Owakwe. He has been to every creek in this area in terms of environmental uprightness. And there are others who will be handling you on boat building. You know, it's a different thing from naval architecture. There are others who will come to handle you on insurance. There are others who are coming to handle you on wet cargo. People are coming to handle you on dry cargo. People are coming to handle you on loss adjusting. People are coming to handle you on protection and indemnity. These are people who practiced this profession. I've been a surveyor for 20 years, and there is no manner of offshore facility I've not surveyed. So it is with Dr. Daniel, and so it is with Owakwe, and so it is with others. So you are going to be just the best. That you cannot go to any accreditation and not pass at once if you go through us. Because all accreditations in the world, we have passed all, of all countries. So we know what it takes. I came with another friend of mine who is an offshore logistics person called Mr. Tubo Leyefa also, please. So it is wonderful for you to be called a marine surveyor. You are an assurance giver to both the investor and the operator. Uprightness is very key, but you will never regret the profession. Gentlemen in Lagos Center, thank you. As I hand over to you.
thing we're talking about. The program overview and course introduction. He did most of the work, syllabus, everything that has to be done with what we're going to give you guys. His name is Captain Fola Otutalao. He did a wonderful job.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I pray your indulgence to stand on the existing protocol. We have this slide, please. So we are going to be looking at the general overview of the course we are doing. And as you can see me, I'm sure that you know that we are the same, on the same level. When the president was speaking, he said that all the people that will be living lecture are 60 years old. I'm sure he has forgotten me that time. All right, so we just click through. Engineer Cookie Yenagua has done almost half of the job. So I will try not to waste much time. You know, marine surveying came as a result of accidents in the maritime industry, failure of instruments. Okay, thank you. Failure of instruments, failure of systems due to lack of maintenance, lack of supervision, lack of monitoring, and so on and so forth. So the introduction to this program will be starting with the introduction to the structure of maritime industry. And under it, we are going to be looking at the standard sheets, definition of marine surveyors and surveying organizations, classification society and IACS, harmonized system of survey and certification, and also effective report writing. How do you write the report when you are doing surveying after you have completed the survey? And also, of course, budgeting and accounting for surveyors. Very important that we know all that. After that, we move to the role of IMO, still under the structure of the maritime industry. The IMO, the administration, like the flag states, the MASA, and so on. We look at the conventions and protocols under IMO. We look at issues of maritime law, admiralty codes, and jurisdiction, professional negligence, responsibility for the act of others. National President spoke a lot about integrity, and Idatuki spoke about uprightness. All that we will look under those topics. Then we move to marine surveyors market and client base. All sorts of surveyors, various industries where you could be employed, where you could work, they are all treated under this topic. Commercial entities, cargo industry, classification industry. You can work with ship owners. Captain Olokoyo we spoke about independent surveyors. There are independent surveyors that just survey for ship owners, you know, and all that. Then P&I insurance, finance house, legal organization. There will be a case in the court that they want to come as an expert, go and inspect, and come and give us the expert opinion. So you can work there as well. Flag states like Masa, cargo, receivers, like tank farm, warehouses, of course, classification society, average adjusters, so on and so forth. Then continue, you have the yachts. We have few yachts here in Nigeria, small crafts, also small vessels. There are people that specialize in small vessels only. That's what they survey, not the larger one. There are people that specialize in tankers, there are people that specialize in cargo bulk carriers, and so on. Then, of course, the general public, especially when we are talking about the environmental survey, so on and so forth. Insurance company level fund, we have talked about that. Pre-operational procedure, you can be a surveyor or an auditor just for procedures. That's what you check. Quality management system of organizations, of systems in shipping companies or administrative agencies. Professional skills and knowledge of marine survey, we are going to do that. Due diligence and KYCC. KYC is know your customer. KYCC is know your customer's customer. So it means that you have to go extra length. You can now see that as a marine surveyor, you don't just stop where others stop. You must learn to go further than that. Then the surveyor's working environment, of course, you need to be competent and understand your environment very well. Health and safety wise, working in dock, maybe shipbuilding dock, maybe dry docking system, maybe in the port, harbor, marina, boats, shipyards, and so on. Reporting of injuries. It is very important that you as a surveyor, you ensure that you work safely. Your personal safety is very important. The areas you are going to be looking at to ensure that you'll be taken care of under this topic. And then disease and dangerous occurrences is also very important. You don't go and survey without cognizance of, you don't know, we are in the era of COVID now. What if you go aboard and you catch the thing there? So you must be able to ensure your safety and the protection of your own health at all times. Then PPE, personal protective equipment, is there, what to wear when you are going for inspection. Control of substance hazard does to health, provision and use of work equipment, lifting operations, that could be very dangerous if it's being done during survey. There are surveyors that specialize on lifting equipment only, and it's very hazardous. So you need to also understand how to work under that circumstance. Safety management system, that is ISM, we look at that later on. ISPS also, entering enclosed spaces, confined spaces, risk assessment. All those ones are also very important. Those are the topics we are going to look at. Then the shipping cycle and all about ships. Very important to you that are going on board the ship for survey, or you are going to be walking around the vessel, that you understand the shipping cycle. Right from the design of a ship, what does it entail? To the actual construction of a ship, what does it entail? From the design, surveyors start work. The design of a ship must be approved by a classification society and the administration that is going to fly, that is going to register that particular vessel, or whose flag the vessel will fly. So the work of the marine surveyor starts from there, and all through the construction, surveyor will be going to the shipyard, all through the operation of the vessel. You have intermediate survey, annual survey, the work of the marine surveyor goes on up until the time that you are going to decommission that vessel. So you need to understand the shipping cycle right from path to deck of the ship, when the ship will get to the demolition yard and will be scrapped. And of course, the principal parts of the ship. That one is very, very important. You must understand all parts of the ship, because you will be sent to go and survey or inspect any part of the ship at any point in time. Principal dimension, also very important. Types of ship we need to know, so that from there you may feel an interest in the area where you want to specialize. Categories of merchant ships, types of cargo, shipboard operation, different operations that happens on board the ship. Nowadays, all operations on board the ship have procedures. So you may be an auditor. It's also it's an aspect of surveying as well. That you just, all you do is to audit systems and procedures of each of those operations. Then shipboard organization, that is arrangement of crew ranking their responsibilities on the ship. It's very important, that shipboard organogram. Emergencies, that is one of the reasons why ships are being inspected, so that the ship will be fit for the operation at all times. So we need to understand the risk, the exposure, kind of accidents that will happen on board a ship. Then we come to maritime law and insurance for surveyors. The introductory part of it is there, interaction of marine policies, cargo carriage. We are going to be looking at all those are policies under marine insurance and law, maritime law, cargo hull and machineries, P&I, forum shopping, ship inspection regime, ISM code, evidence, and non-disclosure agreement, which is very important for surveyors as well. Next slide, please. Now, types of survey. You can see all sorts of types are there. Warranty, survey, heavy lift, P&I, sales and purchase could be pre-sale, it could be pre-purchase, whichever one that you can. There are some of them are broken down into several other subsections. Then you have the break bulk survey. It could be liquid bulk, it could be dry bulk. On and off hire, container condition survey, hatch cover, hold condition cleanliness survey, structural damage, personal injury and incident survey. Next slide. Machinery survey, electrical, electronics, ISM audit, ship vetting system, that is SIRE for oil tankers. SIRE means ship inspection report program. It's for tankers. Then you have the ship vetting system also. CDI, Chemical Distribution Institute. You have insurance valuation, damage, all sorts. We are going to be treating all this one, new build, material, postage, and then marine environmental survey. Next slide. Then we take on marine environmental study itself. Under its particular section, we are going to be talking about environmental survey, introduction to environmental survey. From there, the introductory part, understanding the maritime environment itself, the ocean, what is oceanography, geology, marine geology, hydrography, geodesy, and so on and so forth. Oil pollution, its impact, the effect of operating ships in the environment. So that all this one will make you to appreciate and understand, your job as a marine surveyor. Why you need to inspect to ensure that ship operation does not have negative impact on the environment itself. Then, of course, naval architecture and ship construction for marine surveyors. There's a lot of work here also. You understand the basic concept. We are going to be doing a lot of stability calculations, a lot of rotation calculations, strength of materials, safety, impact of computer in design and construction of vessel human factors, and so on and so forth. Then we are also going to do cargo and commodity survey, liquid, you have dry bulk, you have draft survey, cargo damage, preloading, and outturn. Outturn is after discharge. You have warehousing. Can you go back to the last slide? Okay, stuffing and unstuffing, stowing and value. Okay, let's move on. Next slide. Then warehousing generally, monitoring of warehousing, legal implications, supply chain, types of warehousing, logistics that surround how to manage warehouses and how cargo flow from one point to the other using warehouses as intermediary storage facilities. We are also going to be looking at that. Then collateral management is a continuation of warehousing as well. Some technicalities come into that. We're going to be seeing the exchange, and it was to be an, let me say, a consultant or a surveyor when it comes to the issue of warehousing as well. Marine engineering survey is also another very critical part. The role of classification society in marine engineering survey, ensuring quality of ships and machinery, surveying power of the chief engineer, detention prevention by positive control, and types of approval equipment. Then we are going to specialize on this critical area, marine engineering survey process. Right from the time you prepare for the survey, for marine engineering, you must define your scope, the various machinery survey, marine diesel, boiler, tail shaft, electrical, auxiliary equipment, hull and structure, method of hull survey, hull inspection scheme, how to inspect welds and joints of both plates, shells, and pipes on board the ship. And this one is another very critical aspect that we are going to be looking at. SOLAS, MAPO, FLC, STCW, load line, and posting condition survey. So we are going to be looking at that in details during the program. And I will advise you here, you know, some of these conventions, they have manuals online. You can download, have them in your system so that you can be studying them, because some of them are quite big. They are not books that we can generate or print for you. Download them, keep them, so that as we are going on, we can also interact with those ones. Then ISPS, ISM code audit. This is another very, very important aspect of marine survey. There are people that specialize on this one only, and they have more than enough job. You know, so ISPS, ISM code, we are going to be looking at that one in details. Next slide. Then, the concluding part of it, we are going to be having excursion, we are going to be having mentorship program. For those who will be doing upgrade, at least one excursion. For levels, nothing less than 2 excursions, it could be more, as time permits, because you can see that the workload for both is not easy. You may just look at it like that you have lived through, but I'm telling you, by the time we start, we are going to be struggling to cover most of those things. And what that simply means is that you have a lot of work to do by yourself. I used to tell people that going to a university or going to any technical institution is not what makes you. It is what you make of yourself while going through there. That will determine the type of product you are going to be at the end of the day. And that's why you see 2, 3, 4, 5 people may pass through the same academy or university. Check them 5 years later. All of them are different. They are different levels. So it's a lot of work that you are going to do. For the mentorship system, during that time of mentorship is when we are going to also handle the issue of specialization, the area you want to specialize on. And what we are going to do that time, it doesn't mean that we are going to mark our 3 weeks for that, especially for the levels. Sorry for the upgrade, you know that we see you as people that have experience already. So there are a lot of things that you may have to do by yourself. It's compressed for you. But for the levels, of course, it's still compressed, but you may still have, you have more time, at least to go into just a little bit more detail than the upgrade people. So what we are going to be doing there is we have earmarked about 3 weeks that we are going to bring industry experts. They may not even be any of your lecturers that you know. Some other set of people, either we visit them in their facility, we have enough time interacting with them, or we can bring them here into the class. You sit and we just discuss, we just chat and play. And from there we pick, you know. We don't have 1 year to do mentorship program for us because the program is defined. So that is the way we are going to handle the program in a nutshell. And this is the last slide. I will stop here and we will give time for question and answer. Thank you, Sani.
Very much, Captain Ojusanaro. The spoken, you guys should not be afraid. It's spoken at length of what to expect while the course goes on, but it's something you will find quite interesting. Don't be afraid. But the bottom line is make sure you attend classes and you study well. That goes for the Yenagoa people too. Now we're going to the next item, which is questions, answers, and contribution. Because of time, we're not exposed to too much or too many questions. So what we'll do, we don't want to make it a one-way thing. We've been talking all along. We would want to hear from the students what you feel. Come up with whatever questions you want to ask. We're here to answer the questions. And I do believe some of you have been in the industry for some time, so there shouldn't be much problem. And we do have some that are just starting. So I think what we'll do is we'll entertain 3 questions from Yenagoa. They will start first, while we'll entertain another 3 questions from the Lagos end. I do believe Yenagoa is on board now for them to. Thank you.
Are you a student? Please. Yeah. Okay, so who wants to, having seen the program?
Ask your first question.
Ask your questions, please, if you have any. About the profession, about the course layout, about your comfort, about your future, please, you are free to ask. Okay. Please, question 1 from Yenagoa.
Good morning, everybody. One of my colleagues. My name is Onewu Chimampam. My question is, we are new in the field. I'm a graduate of electrical and electronics, and we are coming here. Most of my people that I thought about marine surveying, they'll be asking me the question, what is marine surveying? And my question goes directly is, what does the future have for us as a marine surveyors? So I need the very clear clarification on this field. Thank you very much.
So that we can take it once. Please let him have mine. It should be written down so that we can answer all. Introduce yourself, leave your hobby.
Good morning, all. My name is Thompson Smith. I am a graduate of Geography and Environmental Management. My question is simple and straight. He talked about excursions. So I want to know if they were taking us to shipyards, docks, and so forth for the excursions. Okay. Thank you.
Gentlemen, sorry, Yenagoa, you're not audible. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Hold the mic close to your mouth so that we can hear your questions. Thanks.
Let me repeat the question.
Okay, let me repeat my question. My question is, the presenter was telling us about excursions. I want to know if we will be going to shipyards, the docks, and the things, the places you mentioned. That's my question, sir. Thank you.
Did you get it, Lagos? Did you hear him, sir? Okay, then. Did you hear him, sir? Did you hear our questions, Lagos? Okay, so please, number 3, we want to take the question so that the answers can be serial.
Can we take the first one?
Okay, that is, you mean the question or the answer? Okay, if the question, you can ask your questions again.
Okay. My question is, as a marine surveyor, what does hope or future holds for us after graduation?
Good. He's asking the prospect of being a marine surveyor. That's question number 1. Number 2 is asking about excursions. What are the areas of the excursion? What will it cover? What will it entail? So, number 3. Did you hear me, sir? Did you hear me? If you hear me, sir, wave. Okay. So, number 3. Okay, sir. Number 3 question now.
All right. My name is Engineer Ibikeme Apere, mechanical. Shall I want to find out that after this training, is it possible you want to get maybe maintenance job and also you are interested in chip designing? Is it possible that you want to further in that area apart from the normal survey, marine survey job? You want to go in depth into other related marine fields?
Yes. Okay. Now, question number 3. Are you listening? If you are listening, if I can talk, raise your hand. If you want me to, okay, sir. The number 3 question is, after the marine surveying class and certification, can he go further into related fields of marine studies with this course program? That's the number 3. So if anybody has answers there, if you want us to answer from there, we will take it.
Can you answer that?
Okay, let's take the 3. We'll take you again. We'll make sure we'll take you again. Number 1 is, what is the future of a marine surveyor? Listen to me. Number 1, you are a specialist professional in everything that has to do with the marine facilities and the environment. You will become an assurance giver to both those who want to invest in the system itself, and the process. If somebody wants to go and buy a ship anywhere in the world, he has to do what we call pre-purchase survey. He has to do what we call pre-purchase survey. Whenever that facility is, you must go there to run a survey on the health of that ship, on the quality of that ship, on the particular use of that ship. When I was coming, I was telling a doctor of a survey we ran. They used a quack. The quack couldn't distinguish between a creek tanker and a seagoing tanker. They are all boats, but one is seagoing, one is creek. You know that creek, the water is smooth, no turbulence much. But in the sea, It's not like that. So there are vessels that cannot go to the sea, but they can operate in the creeks. So you will be taught how to distinguish them and their uses. And this is not play, it is a job that the investor will depend on you. And there are other classification systems. It's everywhere. Until now, foreigners come to run surveys here. And the cost is enormous because it has to do with insurance. But now, after this education, you will be able and qualified and ready to render these services to the total maritime industry. Do you get that one now? Number two, excursion. When we say excursion, we will take you to sites of relevance to your study. Like if you want to do ship survey, we take you to the ship. You see the ship, both the new one, the one that is being used, and the one that is almost becoming a scrap because there is value in scrap. Oh, that's the industry you are in. Nothing is wasted. And they will depend on your expertise to make an investment. You know you can invest in scraps? I hope you know. Yes, you can invest. You look at what do you look at? LDT, the steel content of the scrap is big money. You understand now? So we take you to shipyard if it's a shipyard. We take you to vessels, cargo vessels for dry or wet cargo. You go to tankers and you see how charts are developed. All these things, you will have a practical assessment and understanding before you leave the college. Okay. Number three, we are not, as marine surveyors, giving you that this is your qualifier to enter marine surveying. Yes, professionally, but it helps you to identify areas your degree or disinterest can help you if you want to. Like if you're a mechanical engineer, nothing stops you from changing to marine engineering. Nothing. Nothing. Even the marine surveying will assist you to appreciate marine machines because mostly mechanical is diesel. I don't know if you understand. It's mainly diesel. Okay? But there are the propulsion system is a different ballgame. That is where we come in. And other auxiliaries that assist the propulsion system. Do you get it? So you're a mechanical engineer, you can be a marine. You can be an accountant. After the training, you can be a wet cargo surveyor. Okay? But the basic professional calling is necessary. Is that okay now? Yeah. For the electrical person, the ship in itself is a house of electricity. Do you understand me? Every ship must have 4 generators. You get it now? And it's like a whole house. You generate electricity, you distribute it. You put safety systems on the lines. Whatever you do in factories, the ship is a moving factory on the sea. Do you get it now? Then offshore facilities like platforms, that's a gigantic industry. Refineries depend on your safety education. So a lot is available for you as a specialist in this field. And what is more, you are getting accreditation to practice anywhere. And we will give you all this, but we will show you the jobs at the beginning, your initiatives, your character, and your understanding of the system will carry you forward. Do you understand? Do you understand it now? If they understand it there, that's all I can give, unless somebody wants to add more.
Engineer Kuki, Thank
The
you
first
very much.
question, please, just one.
We need to ask 3 questions from Lagos. Now,
Okay. please
make sure you don't ask what has been asked before. Let's limit it to new things. And please have behind your mind that we have up to 11 o'clock here, so we need to. So the first question, yes.
Thank you very much. My name is Tukuda Savior Sunday, full scholar. May I stand under the already established protocols to ask the following questions? This my first question is about the matriculation. The president said something about it. I want to know, those in the Lagos Center, are we traveling to NDU for the matriculation when the time is due? If yes, how are we going to cope with maybe the expenses or something? Then my second question is about, on my admission letter here, reading down, you see where you have, where it's written, you are not paying anything, and something will be given you for transport and other materials. And I've not heard anybody said something about maybe how the money is going to be given or something. So I don't know if we are expecting information about that later, or is it going to be said, something is going to be said about it maybe before we go. And my last question, please, is about, I was opportune to go through NCDMB page and on Twitter and Facebook, and I saw some comments people made that NCDMB is fond of training people and they abandon them. So I was scared actually when I heard about this. And one of the questions I had in mind was to ask, what is our fate after this training? Are we going to be abandoned, or we're going to be given some place to start our future, our career with? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Now I'm going to give this side 2 because you're more than. So 2 questions from me. All right.
My name is Flair Denolanka. My question has to do with the surveyor itself. I would like to know, sir, we were talking about integrity and honesty. What is the penalty against any surveyor who, because of financial gain, gives a false report, and by so doing, we have accidents and maybe someone lost their life or something? So what is the penalty against such surveyor?
All right, thank you. The last question from this side, please.
My question is, the first one the president did when he was giving the speech, that the NPC was going to sponsor 6 people to have the international qualification. Sorry, what are the requirements for those 6? Secondly, is the PPDP to all, is it for academic or professional? Thank you.
Can you repeat that? The last time.
My first question is, during the speech of the president, he made mention that the board is going to sponsor 6 people to have the international certificate in surveyor. What are the qualifications for these 6 people? The second one is, at the end of this course, we're going to be giving the certificate. Is it an academic PTD or a professional PTD?
Thank you. My president.
Yeah, let me I think most of the questions, I want Captain Oloko to answer the question on penalty. I think is the penalty for wrong surveying or wrong reporting. But Matriculation is up to you. But if I were you, I would want to go there. We will not pay for you to go there. But it's up to you to go there and to go to Yenagoa to do the matriculation properly when the time comes. We can arrange collectively and support you in a way to ensure that happens. But honestly, I mean, the way you make it sound is like, are we going to pay for you to go? You have to sit down and arrange to make sure that it's easy for you to go. So it's not our responsibility to make sure you go. If you don't go, you miss the opportunity of proper matriculation. Stipends, you asked about stipends. Let me tell you, all the money we have spent in today has been contributed by these gentlemen. Millions. We have not received a penny from Content Board. So let's make that very clear. Our interest in this program has made us develop it to the level where it is now. But when Content Board comes in with a promised funding, then we can start discussing. But we will not, and I will repeat that, we will not give the stipends at the beginning. Because we've seen cases where you give the stipend at the beginning and the students disappear. So don't think you will get that stipend at the beginning. If you are interested in the course, come for the lectures to a point. We can then give it in installments. It's not plenty, but it will help. It will help. When we get the money, we'll announce what it is. But it will help to soften your movement, make it easier back and forth from your homes. The Yenagoa people actually need it even more because quite a number of them are in Port Harcourt, Ukeli, Warri, and the environments. Not all of them are based in Yenagoa. So they need it more, and we'll try and make sure that we are as fair as possible. We want to see seriousness before we start turning out money. Then the last one is abandon. Whether we will abandon you, we will not abandon you. We will try as much as possible to ensure that as many of our students are fixed somewhere. But we're not guaranteeing that you will get a job immediately after. We will try very hard. We are talking to people already. We're talking to organizations. But by the time we start, it will even be easier for us to talk and ensure that it will be our greatest joy to ensure that everybody that goes through this program has a job at the end of the program. Target. What I'm saying is that you cannot hold us up to say, you said you give us job. We are not promising you job. What we are promising you is training. What we are promising you is training. Then, yes, Captain Oloko, I talked about the penalty. Then there was the question of the 6 international certification students. It will be based on pure merit. Pure merit. But of course, Content Board, who will be providing the funds for that, has the right to even reject anybody. Ours will be to present to them the names of those we believe are worthy of such international certification. And it is their own to now say, okay, these are the ones we give. Then you ask whether it's an academic certificate or professional certificate. I don't know what that means. The certificate is a certificate. It's not the certificate that you are looking for. It is the training that you are looking for. So if it's a certificate you are looking for, you are in the wrong place. So you should come and attend the training and imbibe it. The person that the organization that is giving the certificate is Niger Delta University. So I don't know what you mean by academic certificate or professional certificate. It's absolutely irrelevant in this subject. What you are getting is certification that you have gone through the training of a professional marine surveyor. There's nobody here, sitting here, that is a lecturer in the university. We are all professionals. We have some lecturers who are going to teach, yes, but go and find out. A lot of them would have had some professional experience here and there, or even getting PhD, getting professorship and all that. So I'll give hand over to Captain Maloko to talk about the penalty for non-performance or for improper performance.
Thank you very much, President. As I mentioned earlier, there are three classes of surveying jobs candidates. You can work either for government, in this case, maybe the master. You can work for a capital society, like lawyers, INSB, this, all those type of. Then you can work for independent organizations like the companies owned by our president, by Mr. Mr. Muni here. So I think three classes of job. If you are working for the master, you are bound by certain rules and regulations of working the government agency. And when you are there, you're supposed to follow what we call a code of conduct. So secondly, you're not going to be working on your own independently. When you join the organization, you have to be mentored, you have to work under somebody. The report that you're going to be submitting will be vetted by the seniors. So if you go out for a survey and come back with a report that somebody has done before, and your own reports, because you have collected money, it's straight now. Somebody has to go there to vet it. So those are the things of balance that are there.
What is the penalty?
The penalty, well, it will be your, I mean, you'll be sacked now. You'll be sacked.
You could even be jailed.
Then if you're working for like lawyers or if there's the same thing. The thing is that normally I have a colleague who works with APS. If you're working with APS or lawyers, you are so well paid that the incentive for you to take pride will not be there. Unless you are somebody that likes money so much. Because if you consider how much is a salary and how much somebody wants to give you, you will not try it. And it's not with no interest, because as you are doing the job now, but this industry is we don't have so many, as I said now, so yes are not many. Once your job is not up to standard, everybody in the industry will know that they are not a competent surveyor. And nobody will call you again for any job. So it's like a self-regulation as well too. But what's importantly, there will be what we call a code of conduct for surveyors. All this when you are employed, you will sign what we call a document to say, well, if I don't perform well at the sack, and whatever I do, I don't give information out confidentiality. And if you go on the shift and to do something, you don't tell any other person about what I've done that shift. You write a report and you keep it there. So surveyors, what determines surveyors is the integrity. So our president, that company is, when you bring them a job, you have to do well. If you are not doing well, nobody comes to you. But the industry is like that. So very, very careful. Don't be too carried away with easy money and all that. I know sometimes it will be hard, but be very, very careful. Otherwise, you lose your job, you can be jailed. And if you do it, if you go to survey a ship now that is not good, and you pass that vessel, and there's an accident on that vessel, can you imagine the losses, loss of lives, property, and the ship? So, integrity.
Thank you. All right, I just want to add a few things to what just said now. When you are talking about, it's a very good question. And I want to quickly say that, you see, when you talk about the maritime environment, you look at the space occupied by water upon the surface of the earth, over 70%. The rest, land. But you see, one secret I want to tell you about the maritime industry is that information flies in the maritime industry more than what you have on the land. I have tried it, and I've seen that it is true. So if you compromise in the industry, you will be surprised that you committed the thing inside one creek in Yenagoa, and one company in London has the record of it already. So if you compromise integrity, as a surveyor, you are only shooting yourself on the foot. You have limited your prospect by yourself. And on the opposite side of it, if you are always upright, the same way your information will go around. Have you heard of the word sought after before? You will see, you become a brand. Everybody wants that name. Oh, that guy, that company, that company. That is on one side. On the second side of it is the fact that when you mess up compromising integrity, you also jeopardize the good image of your organization that you work with. So at the end of the day, it doesn't only affect you, it affects the organization as well. And that's why Dr. Olokun spoke about code of conduct. Every organization, so that the code of conduct will guide you what you do per time. Of course, legal implication is there. Legal implication of it, the company could be sanctioned, the person could be jailed, the person could be penalized, the person could be suspended, the license could be withdrawn. Organizations like Center for Marine Survey will dissociate themselves from the person and say that this is not our member. So it has a lot of implications. And finally, I will conclude by saying that it's part of your training. Under maritime law and insurance, it is there. So when we get to the class, we will take it in more detail. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Now, do we have any contribution from Yenagoa?
Ask if the content board is there.
Is the content board there, please? Gentlemen, Yenagoa, is the representation of content board there?
Okay, the representative of the local content has just left. I think he has some other things to do with his organization. And from here, what I want to let our students know concerning job integrity, you see, it is about being honest or being dishonest. But we should agree that the word ignorant is something as stupidity. They are the same word. You can be stupid without being dishonest, but you cannot be dishonest without being stupid. In the sense that once your integrity comes into question, there are people who have done this job before you. Let me give you an example of you can be, just an example, you can be, stupid, but you are not dishonest. You understand? Like if you are on the sea and you are asked, there's a spill somewhere, maybe somebody, a boatman would have seen the spill and comes to report. When he reports that there's a spill somewhere, and you now tell him, take me to that place. That spill, if it's a flowing water, may not be at that point again. And when he takes you there, he is ignorant, but he's not dishonest because the water has carried the spill further. But you, who is a professional, you still sit down there because you have been paid. You say, no, this is the only place they said it is, and that's the only place I've seen it. They pay you, you do analysis there and say there was no spill here. Are you not dishonest? You are dishonest because it has moved. It is your job, the way we train you, to know the wind movement on the surface, the current speed, you know, the direction of flow, so that you track the oil and go there and do analysis and earn your money. But if you earn your analysis at the spot of spill, when it has gone, then you are dishonest. And everybody will know you are dishonest. And for us, you will be delisted. And if you must come back again, you must go through that course full again, meaning that the thing didn't pass through you. That's what we are saying. So there's no, and the risk of your dishonesty can be very dire. Like you see on an FPSO, a steel crossing is eating up because a contractor has paid you to overlook it, and suddenly somebody matches on it. Depending on where his landing is, it can be instant death. And insurance will come in. The cost will be so high. And the damage to families. In the maritime industry, we are our brother's keeper. 1. 2, it is a regulated environment. 3, it's paramilitary. So let's understand it. Thank you, Lagos.
Very much, Engineer. I do. Let me thank everybody. Yenagoa, Lagos. We've had a very fruitful time. We've had a very good introduction to what we're doing here today. And we await your, what's it called? Your activities down the line. I would want to say we are at the end of this ceremony, and I would want to call on Captain Tajuddin Alao. I believe I've seen him on the, if he could give us the vote of thanks. Captain, please. Thank you.
Hello? Hello? Oh, Bobby. Hello? Mute. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can hear you.
Oh, good morning, everybody.
Captain, go on.
I'm on the road. Actually, I'm driving on the road, but I'm glad to be part of this program. I want to reassure the students coming on board that embarking on this program, they will not regret. It's a new life, but they have to be dedicated. Most importantly, they have to look after their health. You cannot be sick and go on board for survey. You cannot be sick and go into the port to go and do cargo survey. Wet cargo, dry cargo. You have to be on top of your health. It's very, very important. Your integrity, your professionalism and all that, but there is no halfway in your health status. So I want to thank the organizer of this program. I want to thank the people who have the idea that they want to bring sanity into surveying job in Nigeria. Many foreigners are taking the job away from us. But with this course, our people can now take control. Local content is on our side. I want to thank all the people who package the modules, the staff of NDU, Wider Perspective, the Center for Marine Surveyors, and the president especially, that has been dogged and focused for the past 2 years in order to make today a reality. And we want to thank God in heaven that has made it possible. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you all. Mute, Romania. Okay, what do I do?
So that's feedback.
Hello. Hello, la máa fún àwọn aláyé. Fún 200. Woman yẹn náà ńkọ́? Ń ṣe àfún. Balógun fọwọ́ kàn. Ní ìwọ́n tó sọ àkàrà. Ẹ mú àkàrà wá ká kọ́ra àkàrà lọ. Ẹ jẹ́ ká rí iná. 100 naira. Wọ́n gbàdúrà. Ọ̀rọ̀ jìn o. Omi pọ̀ nílẹ̀ ìgbésẹ̀. One call.
Not sure how it will go. Help such a person in Jesus' name. Who are doggedly lost. Risky to get this thing to this level. It is you that you have made it possible, Papa. Thank you very much. Lord, we worship you. We thank you. We are hoping that after this training, all our students will not regret the training. Amen. They will get something to do that will make them be happy and be grateful to you. Thank you, Father. Take all the glory. For in Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
And I need to sit down. The formal ceremony is on. It's gone now. So group photograph. How do we do that? They take their own here. We take our own here.
Everybody can come this way, and they will be in the background, so we take a group picture. Then they can take their own individually. I'll put them on full screen.
You put them on full screen?
Yeah. And everybody here will stay in front.
Okay, quickly, can we do that? Can we do that?
But they just click their screen.
Well, that means the Yenagua people, have they closed their screen?
Yeah, just tell them to.
Should we really worry about it? They're back?
Yeah.
Okay, they want to take a full group photograph, so we will stay here. Yenagua will be on full screen there. And yeah, they put all you on full screen. They say we will stay here, and then they will take the photograph. We are get up now. Who is going to take the photograph?
Let's picture. There, they'll back this place. Yeah. Nami.
Okay, let's take so that they can say one people can stay on the stage here. So there's no one. Yeah, space there. But they all have blood.
So don't go up, just take it.
No, the people that will go up, they'll meet from the side.
Okay. All right.
Have you taken it? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, Yenagua, thank you very much. I hope you took your own too there. Yeah, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Dr. Douglas, we'll meet you soon. Thank you.
Well done, sir.
By God's grace, we shall all meet Monday, possibly during the.
Thank you.
Have the full class in one location.
Captain, allow you saying thank you all.
Your process of letters of admission now. You can switch off the camera so that.
Thank you very much, all the way from Abeokuta, Ibadan Expressway.
Bye.
Bye, all the way Abeokuta, Ibadan Expressway.
Okay.
I don't want. I want to leave safe. We call leave more. You know whether you want to leave.
Well done, sir. Well done, Prince Bambo.
Okay,